Once upon a time, in a cozy village nestled in Nepal's green valleys, there lived a young man named Samir. Samir was famous in the village for his amazing ability to stay calm, even when things got tough. He seemed to handle his feelings differently from everyone else, which left the villagers curious about his secret. Please feel free to type wisdom in the comment section if this message resonates with your spirit. Your participation extends the reach of this message, touching more lives and spreading the message of faith and hope. Stay with us until the end of this video. Open your heart and be ready to receive the uplifting power of this video. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications to stay updated with more content that nourishes the soul and uplifts the spirit. They decided to approach him one day and asked, "Samir, how do you manage to stay so calm no matter what happens?" With a gentle smile, Samir replied, "I'll share my story and the lessons that have helped me find this inner peace." Many years ago, when Samir was just a boy, he ventured deep into the forest surrounding his village. He roamed through the thick trees until he stumbled upon a secluded cave. Inside the cave, Samir found an old monk meditating with his eyes closed. Samir watched quietly as the monk sat there deep in thought. When the monk finally opened his eyes, he looked at Samir and said, "You seem troubled by your feelings." Samir nodded. "Yes," he admitted. "It's hard for me to control my emotions, especially when things get tough." The monk smiled warmly and invited Samir to sit beside him. He began to share his wisdom, teaching Samir about emotional detachment and the journey to finding inner peace. The monk introduced Samir to mindfulness, teaching him to observe his thoughts and emotions without judgment. He encouraged Samir to simply acknowledge their presence and let them pass, like clouds drifting across the sky. Every day, Samir devotedly practiced mindfulness. He would sit beneath the comforting shade of a Bodhi tree, concentrating on his breath and the sensations within his body. Over time, he discovered how to detach from his emotions, realizing that they were temporary and didn't define his true self. As Samir delved deeper into mindfulness, the monk emphasized the significance of compassion. He clarified that being detached from emotions didn't imply being distant or unkind. Instead, it meant facing life's challenges with understanding and love. Samir began to nurture compassion for both himself and others. He extended a helping hand and a compassionate ear to his fellow villagers, assisting them with their problems. His acts of kindness further endeared him to the people of the village, and his reputation as a compassionate yet emotionally steady young man continued to flourish. Years passed, and Samir matured into a wise and tranquil young man. He had become a beacon of guidance for the villagers, aiding them in navigating the tumultuous waters of their emotions. His advice was highly sought after, and his words resonated with wisdom. Then one day, a powerful storm swept through the village, leaving destruction in its wake. Homes and crops were ravaged, and the villagers were overwhelmed with despair. They looked to Samir, expecting him to be shaken by the calamity. However, Samir remained unwavering. He comforted the villagers and aided them in rebuilding their lives. He explained that although emotions were a natural aspect of being human, it was possible to attain inner peace by not becoming attached to them. By recognizing their impermanence, he showed them the path to serenity. Samir's teachings transcended the boundaries of the village, spreading far and wide. His story evolved into a legend, drawing pilgrims from distant lands to seek his guidance. Despite growing old, Samir continued to share his wisdom until his final days. In the end, Samir exemplified that the journey towards emotional balance wasn't about stifling feelings, but rather about comprehending them and responding with calmness and balance. His legacy endured, serving as a constant reminder that within the heart of Nepal, the key to emotional equilibrium resided in mindfulness, compassion, and the understanding that emotions, like fleeting clouds, would inevitably dissipate into the ether. As the years passed, Samir felt a profound calling within him to further explore the depths of emotional detachment and inner peace. He made the decision to embark on a journey to a distant monastery nestled high in the Himalayan mountains. This monastery was renowned for its profound teachings on the complexities of the mind and emotions. Samir bid farewell to the villagers, who had become like family to him, and embarked on his challenging journey. Through treacherous terrains and unpredictable weather, he persevered until he reached the secluded monastery, perched on the edge of a misty cliff. The monks at the monastery greeted him warmly, sensing his sincere thirst for knowledge and understanding. At the monastery, Samir encountered a wise and humble mentor named Lama Tenzin. Lama Tenzin had dedicated his life to exploring the intricate workings of the human mind and emotions. He imparted to Samir the ancient teachings of the monastery, which delved far deeper than anything Samir had encountered before. Under Lama Tenzin's guidance, Samir began a transformative journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. Samir immersed himself in the teachings of Vipassana meditation and the intricate philosophy of the mind. He discovered that achieving emotional detachment didn't entail suppressing feelings, but rather delving into the root causes of suffering and transcending them. His days at the monastery were brimming with meditation, contemplation, and profound discussions with the monks. Each day brought new insights and revelations as Samir delved deeper into the complexities of his own mind and emotions. Guided by Lama Tenzin, Samir embarked on a journey deep into his own consciousness. With courage, he confronted the emotions he had long suppressed or ignored. In this exploration, Samir unearthed long-buried fears, insecurities, and attachments. As he faced these emotions head-on, Samir came to a profound realization. True emotional balance required more than detachment. It demanded a deep understanding of the self. Through this process, he discovered that by acknowledging and accepting his own emotions, he could guide others with greater wisdom and compassion through their own emotional landscapes. After years of intensive study and meditation, Samir felt he had gained a profound understanding of the human mind and emotions. Sensing it was time to return to his village, he embarked on the journey back home. Upon his return, the villagers immediately noticed a transformation in Samir. He exuded a sense of peace and clarity that was palpable to everyone around him. They eagerly gathered around him, curious to hear about his journey and the teachings he had acquired. Samir shared his profound experiences and the valuable lessons he had learned at the distant monastery. He emphasized the significance of self-awareness, compassion, and understanding in attaining emotional balance. The villagers, already familiar with his wisdom, embraced these teachings wholeheartedly. As time passed, the village transformed into a sanctuary of emotional resilience and wisdom, guided by the principles Samir imparted. Together, they nurtured a community where understanding and compassion flourished, laying the foundation for a harmonious and balanced way of life. Inspired by Samir's journey, the villagers learned to confront their own emotions and face life's challenges with equanimity. The ripple effect of Samir's teachings extended far beyond the village, touching the lives of countless individuals who sought the path to emotional mastery. Samir's influence reached far and wide, resonating with those who yearned for a deeper understanding of themselves and their emotions. His legacy became a beacon of hope for all who sought inner peace and emotional resilience in their lives. As Samir grew older, he remained a guiding light and a source of inspiration for the villagers and anyone who sought his wisdom. His legacy continued to shine brightly, becoming a beacon of hope and transformation not only in Nepal but also beyond its borders. Samir's impact transcended generations, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of all who were touched by his teachings. His enduring legacy served as a reminder that true wisdom and compassion have the power to uplift and transform lives, transcending boundaries and inspiring positive change throughout the world. In the end, Samir's story served as a powerful lesson to the world. It taught that attaining emotional balance didn't entail denying one's humanity or suppressing emotions. Instead, it meant delving into the profound nature of emotions, embracing them with compassion, and using that understanding to navigate life's ever-changing currents with grace and wisdom. Thus, in the heart of Nepal, the legend of Samir, the emotionless sage, endured as a testament to the transformative power of mindfulness, compassion, and self-discovery in achieving inner peace and emotional equilibrium. As the years passed, Samir remained steadfast in sharing his wisdom with all who sought his guidance. Under his influence, the village flourished, evolving into a haven not only of emotional balance, but also of spiritual growth. However, the inevitable passage of time took its toll, and Samir's body began to show signs of age. On a crisp morning, with the sun painting the village in a golden glow, Samir gathered everyone beneath the familiar Bodhi tree. It was here, under the guidance of a wise monk, that he had first discovered the beauty of emotional balance. With serene eyes, he addressed his dear friends, saying, "My time here is fading away. I've poured out all I've learned, and it fills me with joy to see how you've embraced it." Tears welled in the eyes of the villagers, realizing that their beloved Samir's journey with them was nearing its end. Samir's voice carried on, urging them to remember, the road to emotional balance and inner peace isn't a place you reach, but a journey you walk every day. Embrace your emotions, for they're the threads of your life's tapestry. With understanding and compassion, you'll discover the equilibrium you yearn for. With those parting words, Samir gently closed his eyes, a serene smile painting his face. As he drew his last breath, a profound stillness descended upon the village. The villagers, filled with grief yet touched by reverence, understood that Samir had transcended the earthly realm. His spirit now intertwined with the very essence of their village, forever a part of its soul. Samir's departure marked the dawn of a fresh chapter in the village's story. They remained steadfast in their commitment to his teachings, embracing mindfulness, compassion, and self-awareness as their guiding lights. His spirit appeared to linger amidst the rustling leaves of the Bodhi tree, in the gentle flow of the nearby river, and within the hearts of those touched by his profound wisdom. Though he had left their earthly realm, his presence continued to inspire and guide them on their journey of growth and understanding. Word of Samir's life and profound teachings traveled far beyond the borders of the Nepalese village. Pilgrims and seekers from distant lands embarked on journeys to pay homage to the man who had attained the elusive state of emotional balance through understanding and compassion. The village transformed into a hub of knowledge, drawing scholars, monks, and philosophers eager to unravel the mysteries of emotional mastery. Samir's legacy transcended geographical boundaries, touching the hearts and minds of people across the globe. Samir's wisdom continued to spread like ripples across the world, igniting the hearts of countless individuals. Inspired by his teachings, people embarked on their own voyages of self-discovery and sought to attain emotional harmony in their lives. His legacy echoed through the ages, a beacon of enlightenment guiding souls towards inner peace and fulfillment. Through generations and the ever-changing face of the village, the eternal legacy of Samir persisted. His tale became a timeless narrative, whispered around campfires, echoed within temple walls, and engraved in the hearts of seekers longing for inner peace. The village flourished, not merely as a picturesque haven, but as a sanctuary for the soul, where the essence of Samir's teachings permeated every corner. In the heart of Nepal, the story of Samir continued to weave its magic, an everlasting beacon guiding humanity toward the tranquil shores of spiritual fulfillment. The tale of the emotionless sage, Samir, endured as a timeless parable, teaching people that genuine emotional balance wasn't found in stifling feelings, but in comprehending and embracing them with compassion. Samir's legacy served as a poignant reminder that, much like the eternal Himalayan mountains, the human spirit could ascend to great heights of emotional wisdom and serenity through the practices of mindfulness, compassion, and self-awareness. His story echoed through the ages, inspiring countless souls to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery and inner peace. Samir's teachings on achieving emotional balance and serenity have been distilled into these 11 principles to be passed down to future generations. First principle, understanding emotions. Learn to recognize and understand your emotions without judgment. In Buddhist philosophy, understanding emotions is central to the practice of achieving emotional balance and inner peace. The teachings emphasize the importance of recognizing emotions as impermanent phenomena that arise due to various causes and conditions. This understanding is intricately linked to the training in attaining an emotionless state, which is better understood as equanimity or emotional balance, rather than the suppression of emotions. In Buddhism, the lesson of understanding emotions begins with mindfulness. Mindfulness involves non-judgmental awareness of one's thoughts, feelings, and sensations in the present moment. By cultivating mindfulness, individuals learn to observe their emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. This practice allows for a deeper understanding of the nature of emotions, their transient nature, their triggers, and their effects on the mind and body. Moreover, Buddhist teachings emphasize the concept of non-attachment or detachment concerning emotions. This doesn't mean disconnecting from emotions entirely, but rather cultivating a balanced relationship with them. Through mindfulness and insight meditation, practitioners learn to observe emotions with equanimity, neither clinging to pleasant emotions nor resisting unpleasant ones. This practice fosters a sense of inner peace and stability amidst the fluctuating tides of emotions. In the context of training in emotional balance, understanding emotions according to Buddhist principles involves recognizing that emotions are inherently impermanent and subject to change. By developing insight into the transient nature of emotions, individuals can avoid being consumed by them and instead respond with wisdom and compassion. Furthermore, the concept of interconnectedness in Buddhism emphasizes the universal nature of emotions. When individuals understand that their emotional experiences are shared by all beings, it cultivates empathy and compassion towards others. This empathetic connection reinforces the importance of approaching emotions with understanding and kindness, both towards oneself and others. Second principle, compassionate acceptance. In Buddhism, the principle of compassionate acceptance is deeply intertwined with the training for emotional balance and inner peace, which may be perceived as akin to the concept of achieving an emotionless state. However, in Buddhist teachings, this state is not about suppressing or eliminating emotions, but rather about cultivating equanimity and compassion towards them. Compassionate acceptance involves acknowledging and embracing one's emotions with kindness and understanding. Instead of reacting with aversion or attachment to certain emotions, practitioners are encouraged to meet them with compassion, recognizing them as natural aspects of the human experience. Buddhist teachings emphasize the impermanent nature of emotions, highlighting that they arise and pass away due to various causes and conditions. By accepting emotions with compassion, individuals can avoid getting caught up in the endless cycle of craving and aversion that often accompanies emotional reactions. This compassionate acceptance allows for a more balanced and harmonious relationship with one's inner world. Furthermore, compassionate acceptance aligns with the Buddhist concept of non-attachment. Rather than clinging to pleasant emotions or pushing away unpleasant ones, practitioners learn to observe emotions with equanimity. This practice fosters a sense of inner peace and stability, regardless of the fluctuations of emotional experiences. In the context of emotionless training, compassionate acceptance teaches individuals to approach their emotional landscape with kindness and gentleness. Instead of striving to eliminate or suppress emotions, practitioners learn to hold them with compassion, recognizing their inherent impermanence and the lessons they offer. Moreover, compassionate acceptance extends beyond one's own emotional experiences to encompass empathy and understanding towards others. Through cultivating compassion for oneself, individuals develop the capacity to extend that same compassion towards others who may be experiencing similar emotional challenges. Third principle, self-reflection. Self-reflection is a cornerstone of emotional balance and inner peace in both Buddhist teachings and the concept of emotionless training. It involves introspectively examining one's thoughts, emotions, and actions with a sense of openness and honesty. Through self-reflection, individuals gain insight into the underlying causes and patterns of their emotional experiences, paving the way for greater understanding and transformation. In Buddhism, self-reflection is often facilitated through practices such as meditation and mindfulness. By quieting the mind and turning inward, practitioners create space for deep introspection, allowing them to observe their thoughts and emotions without attachment or aversion. Self-reflection is closely linked to the training for emotional balance, as it enables individuals to recognize and address unhelpful patterns of thought and behavior that may contribute to emotional turmoil. By examining the root causes of their emotions, Individuals can cultivate greater awareness and discernment, guiding them towards more skillful ways of responding to life's challenges. Moreover, self-reflection fosters a sense of personal responsibility and accountability for one's emotional well-being. Instead of blaming external circumstances or others for their emotional experiences, individuals learn to take ownership of their reactions and choices. This empowers them to cultivate a greater sense of agency and resilience in the face of adversity. In the context of emotionless training, self-reflection plays a crucial role in fostering emotional balance and equanimity. By regularly engaging in self-reflection, individuals develop the capacity to observe their emotions with clarity and impartiality, free from the influence of ego or attachment. Furthermore, self-reflection aligns with the Buddhist principle of impermanence, reminding individuals that emotions, like all phenomena, are transient and subject to change. Through self-reflection, practitioners come to understand that clinging to or resisting emotions only perpetuates suffering, while embracing them with mindfulness and compassion leads to greater inner peace and freedom. Fourth principle, gratitude attitude. Gratitude attitude, the practice of cultivating gratitude in one's life, is deeply intertwined with emotionless training and Buddhist teachings on emotional balance and inner peace. At its core, gratitude attitude involves recognizing and appreciating the blessings and positive aspects of life, even amidst challenges and difficulties. This practice fosters a mindset of abundance, contentment, and interconnectedness, which are essential components of emotional balance. In Buddhism, gratitude is considered a virtue that leads to greater happiness and spiritual fulfillment. The practice of gratitude attitude aligns with the Buddhist principle of cultivating wholesome mental states, known as kalyana mittata or spiritual friendship. By nurturing gratitude, individuals develop a sense of appreciation for the interconnected web of life, recognizing the countless beings and conditions that support their well-being. Gratitude attitude also links to the concept of impermanence in Buddhist teachings. By acknowledging the transient nature of life and the impermanence of all phenomena, individuals learn to cherish each moment and experience with a sense of gratitude. This awareness of impermanence encourages a deeper appreciation for the present moment and the preciousness of life itself. Moreover, gratitude attitude complements emotionless training by shifting focus away from dwelling on negative emotions or circumstances. Instead of getting caught up in feelings of lack or discontent, individuals cultivate gratitude for the blessings and opportunities present in their lives. This practice helps to counteract the tendency towards attachment or aversion to emotions, fostering a more balanced and equanimous mindset. In the context of emotionless training, gratitude attitude serves as a powerful antidote to the cycle of craving and dissatisfaction that often underlies emotional turbulence. By cultivating gratitude, individuals learn to let go of the grasping mind and find contentment in the present moment. This sense of inner fulfillment and appreciation acts as a stabilizing force, anchoring individuals amidst life's ups and downs. Furthermore, gratitude attitude fosters a sense of interconnectedness and compassion towards others. By recognizing the kindness and generosity of others in their lives, individuals develop empathy and a desire to contribute positively to the well-being of others. This altruistic attitude reinforces emotional balance by shifting focus away from self-centered concerns towards a broader perspective of interconnectedness and mutual support. Sixth principle, healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries, the practice of establishing and maintaining appropriate limits in relationships and interactions, is closely linked to emotionless training and Buddhist teachings on emotional balance and inner peace. Establishing healthy boundaries is essential for protecting one's emotional well-being and fostering harmonious relationships with others. In Buddhism, the concept of healthy boundaries aligns with the principle of right speech and right action, which emphasize ethical conduct and non-harming in one's interactions with others. By setting boundaries, individuals cultivate respect for themselves and others, creating a foundation for authentic and meaningful connections. Healthy boundaries also relate to the Buddhist teaching of non-attachment, which encourages individuals to let go of clinging to fixed ideas or identities. By establishing boundaries, individuals recognize the impermanent and interdependent nature of relationships, allowing for greater flexibility and adaptability in navigating social interactions. Moreover, healthy boundaries support emotionless training by helping individuals discern when to engage with emotions and when to step back. By establishing clear limits, individuals can prevent themselves from becoming overwhelmed or enmeshed in others' emotional experiences. This practice fosters a sense of emotional autonomy and self-care, essential components of emotional balance. In the context of emotionless training, healthy boundaries serve as a safeguard against emotional reactivity and codependent patterns. By setting boundaries, individuals create space for self-reflection and self-awareness, enabling them to respond to emotions with greater clarity and discernment. Furthermore, healthy boundaries promote authenticity and integrity in relationships. By communicating their needs and limits openly and assertively, individuals foster trust and mutual respect with others. This fosters a supportive environment where emotions can be expressed and understood without fear of judgment or manipulation. Seventh principle, self-compassion. Self-compassion, the practice of extending kindness, understanding, and support to oneself in times of difficulty or suffering, is deeply connected to emotionless training and Buddhist teachings on emotional balance and inner peace. It involves treating oneself with the same warmth and care that one would offer to a dear friend, particularly during moments of emotional turmoil or self-criticism. In Buddhism, self-compassion aligns with the principle of metta, or loving kindness, which is one of the foundational qualities cultivated in meditation practice. By extending compassion towards oneself, individuals cultivate a sense of unconditional acceptance and goodwill, fostering emotional resilience and well-being. Self-compassion is closely linked to the concept of non-self, anatta, in Buddhist teachings, which emphasizes the lack of a fixed, permanent self. By recognizing the impermanent and interconnected nature of all phenomena, including one's thoughts and emotions, individuals can adopt a more compassionate and detached perspective towards their inner experiences. Moreover, self-compassion complements emotionless training by providing a buffer against the harsh judgments and self-criticism that often accompany emotional reactions. By offering oneself kindness and understanding, individuals can soften the intensity of difficult emotions and cultivate a sense of inner calm and stability. In the context of emotionless training, self-compassion encourages individuals to approach their emotional experiences with gentleness and acceptance, rather than resistance or suppression. By acknowledging their own suffering with compassion, individuals create space for healing and growth, allowing emotions to arise and pass naturally without getting caught up in reactive patterns. Furthermore, self-compassion fosters a sense of interconnectedness and empathy towards others. By recognizing one's own vulnerabilities and struggles, individuals develop greater empathy and compassion for the suffering of others, deepening their capacity for genuine connection and understanding. Eighth principle, empathetic connection. Empathetic connection, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is intricately linked to emotionless training and Buddhist teachings on emotional balance and inner peace. It involves cultivating a deep sense of empathy and compassion towards others, recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings and their shared experiences of joy and suffering. In Buddhism, empathetic connection is central to the practice of metta, or loving-kindness meditation. By extending loving-kindness towards oneself and others, practitioners develop a genuine sense of care and concern for the well-being of all sentient beings, fostering a heart that is open and receptive to the suffering of others. Empathetic connection is closely tied to the Buddhist concept of interdependence, pratyasamutpada, which emphasizes the interconnected nature of all phenomena. By recognizing the interdependence of all beings, individuals cultivate a sense of empathy and solidarity with others, understanding that their own well-being is intimately connected to the well-being of the broader community. Moreover, empathetic connection complements emotionless training by encouraging individuals to approach their emotional experiences with a sense of empathy and understanding both towards themselves and others. By cultivating empathy, individuals develop the capacity to hold space for the emotions of others without becoming overwhelmed or reactive. In the context of emotionless training, empathetic connection encourages individuals to cultivate a sense of emotional resilience and well-being by fostering genuine connections with others. By recognizing the shared humanity in emotional experiences, individuals develop greater empathy and compassion for the suffering of others, strengthening their capacity for authentic connection and understanding. Furthermore, empathetic connection fosters a sense of altruism and service towards others. By extending empathy and compassion towards others, individuals develop a deep sense of purpose and meaning in their lives, recognizing the profound interconnectedness of all beings and their shared journey towards awakening. Ninth principle, lifelong learning. Lifelong learning, the continuous pursuit of knowledge and growth throughout one's life, is deeply intertwined with emotionless training and Buddhist teachings on emotional balance and inner peace. It involves remaining open-minded, curious, and receptive to new experiences, insights, and teachings, fostering a mindset of growth, adaptability, and self-discovery. In Buddhism, lifelong learning aligns with the concept of sila, or ethical conduct, which includes the commitment to continual self-improvement and moral development. By engaging in lifelong learning, individuals deepen their understanding of Buddhist principles and practices, refining their skills in meditation, mindfulness, and compassionate action. Lifelong learning is closely linked to the Buddhist concept of beginner's mind, Shoshin, which encourages individuals to approach each moment with curiosity and openness, free from preconceptions or fixed ideas. By adopting a beginner's mind, practitioners remain receptive to new insights and perspectives, allowing for ongoing growth and transformation. Moreover, lifelong learning complements emotionless training by encouraging individuals to explore and understand their emotional experiences with greater depth and insight. By engaging in lifelong learning, individuals gain new tools and techniques for managing their emotions effectively, fostering greater emotional resilience and well-being. In the context of emotionless training, lifelong learning encourages individuals to cultivate a sense of curiosity and inquiry towards their emotional experiences. By remaining open to new ideas and perspectives, individuals deepen their understanding of the underlying causes and patterns of their emotions, empowering them to respond to life's challenges with greater clarity and wisdom. Furthermore, lifelong learning fosters a sense of humility and openness towards others. By acknowledging that one's own understanding is limited and imperfect, individuals remain receptive to the insights and experiences of others, fostering a spirit of collaboration and mutual support in their personal and spiritual growth. 10th principle, focus on solutions. Focus on solutions refers to the practice of directing one's attention and energy towards finding constructive ways to address challenges or difficulties rather than getting entangled in negative emotions or dwelling on problems without resolution. This approach is closely linked to both emotionless training and Buddhist teachings on emotional balance and inner peace. In Buddhism, the focus on solutions aligns with the concept of right effort, which encourages individuals to cultivate wholesome mental states and overcome unwholesome ones. By directing their efforts towards skillful action and constructive problem-solving, practitioners develop greater resilience and clarity of mind, fostering emotional balance and well-being. Moreover, the focus on solutions is rooted in the Buddhist principle of impermanence, anicca, which teaches that all phenomena are transient and subject to change. By recognizing the impermanent nature of both problems and emotions, individuals can approach challenges with a sense of equanimity, knowing that difficulties are temporary and can be overcome with skillful effort and determination. In the context of emotionless training, the focus on solutions encourages individuals to cultivate a mindset of resilience and empowerment in the face of emotional challenges. Rather than becoming overwhelmed by negative emotions or getting stuck in rumination, individuals learn to channel their energy towards identifying practical steps and strategies for managing their emotions effectively. Furthermore, the focus on solutions fosters a sense of agency and autonomy in individuals, empowering them to take proactive steps towards creating positive change in their lives. By focusing on solutions, individuals develop a greater sense of control over their emotions and circumstances, fostering a deeper sense of inner peace and well-being. 11th principle, practice detachment. Practice detachment is a profound concept deeply rooted in both emotionless training and the rich tapestry of Buddhist teachings on emotional balance and inner peace. At its core, detachment entails cultivating a mindset of non-attachment towards external circumstances, outcomes, and even one's own thoughts and emotions. It is a practice that transcends mere indifference or apathy, instead fostering a profound sense of equanimity, freedom, and clarity in the face of life's ever-changing landscape. In Buddhism, detachment is considered a fundamental principle that lies at the heart of the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. It aligns closely with the teaching of anatta, or non-self, which posits that there is no permanent, unchanging self or ego. By recognizing the transient and interconnected nature of all things, individuals can cultivate a sense of detachment from the ups and downs of life, liberating themselves from the shackles of clinging and craving that lead to suffering. Furthermore, detachment is essential for emotional balance and well-being. By practicing detachment, individuals learn to observe their thoughts and emotions with a sense of impartiality and non-identification, rather than becoming entangled in their inner experiences or reacting impulsively to external stimuli. Individuals can maintain a sense of inner calm and clarity regardless of the circumstances. In the context of emotionless training, practicing detachment encourages individuals to develop a healthy relationship with their emotions. Rather than suppressing or denying their emotions, individuals learn to acknowledge and accept them without becoming overwhelmed or overly attached. By practicing detachment, individuals can respond to their emotions with greater wisdom and discernment, rather than reacting impulsively or being controlled by them. Moreover, practicing detachment fosters resilience and adaptability in individuals. By letting go of rigid expectations or attachments to specific outcomes, individuals can navigate life's challenges with greater flexibility and grace. This practice allows individuals to approach situations with a sense of openness and curiosity, rather than fear or resistance, fostering a deeper sense of inner peace and well-being. In summary, practicing detachment is an essential aspect of both emotionless training and Buddhist teachings on emotional balance. By cultivating a mindset of non-attachment towards external circumstances and inner experiences, individuals create a foundation for greater emotional resilience, equanimity, and freedom from suffering. Through the practice of detachment, individuals can journey towards a state of profound inner peace and liberation, embodying the timeless wisdom of the Buddha's teachings. Leave a like for this video and share it at least one time to help us reach more people. Spread the gospel and change more lives by comment using the word wisdom. To further support the dissemination of this message, consider sharing this video with a friend or family member. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications to stay updated with more content that nourishes the soul and uplifts the spirit. See you at next video.